Hey friends, Mr. E here, and today is a video all about mods, more specifically my personal mod setup for Darktide, circa 2026. So this video has been done in the past, but this is hopefully the current edition that you're watching, and this will give you the best idea of what I'm currently running in the game, because I got a ton of questions about like, oh, how are you getting this feature? What's this? What mod does this? And this video will hopefully answer all those questions. So notably, this is not a video about how to install mods. I'll link one of those down in the description if you are curious and you just want to get started. And it's also not a video for console players because you can't mod on console at all. I'm sorry. Just another reason that console Darktide is absolutely cursed. But yeah, if you are a Game Pass or Steam, you should definitely be modding your game. And my idea, the concept of this video is hopefully you'll walk away knowing some really, really good mods that you can slot into your own set, or you'll want to just completely crib mine and run it as your own. But with that being said, let's go ahead and just get started here. All I need to do is pull up my mod list, and I'm going to scroll down this bad boy. As you can see, it is quite long, and that's what she said. And this is about 55 total mods, not including the ones that are mandatory for the game to run. So yeah, there's a lot of them here. And what I'll do for you is I'll just slowly scroll back to the top. As I see it, you have a couple options. You could pause at any time and go and Google and go to Nexus Mods, and for about 95% of these, you can go ahead and download it and then get it to run. It does require, full disclosure, it does require for a lot of these some troubleshooting because they are either obsoleted or they have had community patches changed to them. Even some of these I have personally, had to have people edit because I might be the only person who's still using these in their mod pack, but I think they're all really, really excellent, and I'll be explaining what they all do and or showing what they all do. The other option here is to become a channel member. If you become a mystery channel member, then you get access to the Discord, and when you have access to the Discord, you have access to the full mod pack download, which means that you instantly get the entire up-to-date mod pack. I keep it up to date with any given patch, so this thing is ready for, right now we are just after the Expeditions patch launch, so it's ready to go for a download. You'll have it up in less than 5 minutes, and you can take whatever mods you want from it. If there's only like 50% of the mods you want and you want to throw the rest out, that's all good. Plus it comes with my mod settings, so you can get the custom UI if that's more your speed, up and running in like instantly. So it's a very, very I think it's a pretty good offering for people to become members. I'm glad I can provide something to members because they provide a lot to me and help support the channel. So you scratch my back, I scratch yours, sort of thing. But with that being said, let's get started. I'm gonna start at the top and work my way down just like I did your mom last night, and we'll explain what these mods do, and I'll give you sort of an overview of whether I think this is absolutely essential, this 100% should be in your pack, or it's sort of a more of a flavor thing. Starting at the top with Darktide Bond Framework, well, obviously this is a basic sort of thing that you need to run mods, so skip that. Psych Ward, okay, this is really cool. This is Psych Ward right here. It needs a little bit of UI work, not gonna lie, but what it allows you to do is from this main menu, without loading into the Morningstar, you can check your contracts. You can check your crafting. You could check the armory and see, is there gonna be a 17% curio? Dang it. Okay. So yeah, but if you could very quickly go between all of these characters and go in here and check and see if there's any good curios on sale without loading in and loading out of the Morningstar constantly. This also allows you to skip straight to the meat grinder on whatever difficulty you want, skip straight to Mortis Trials, just go straight to the mission board and pick a mission and load straight there without having to load into the Morningstar. So if you get slow load times, this could be a great one to save a bunch of time for you. Let's go on to AFK. This is a really, really simple one. Basically, if you hit the escape key, normally nothing happens. Your character just stands there. But this, if you have a block capable weapon, like a melee weapon up, it'll block. So when you're AFK and you just BRB, guys, 1 second. My DoorDash is here. You hit the escape, and then it'll block for you so that one Poxwalker doesn't end your whole career while you're gone. Better buff management. Okay, this is really cool. This is where we have to actually go into the meat grinder really quickly. Check this out. Look how fast his loading time is without having to load into the Morningstar. Isn't that great? Well, I say it's fast loading time, but this is my first time loading it today. Ah, there we go. Okay, so better buff management. I have a list of buffs, and they are down there in that bottom bar, right below my custom HUD. So as you can see, my buff list is very tailored. It is only showing the absolute bare necessities to know what I currently have active. I've trimmed out a bunch of fat, like, you know, those useless buffs that say, oh, you are in coherence with 3 people, and also you have this aura that you are providing, obviously, on yourself. All sorts of nonsense like that. Things that you would obviously know and never need to look at. So that's a really cool mod that can allow you to pick and choose what buffs you actually want to show, the ones that are really important to your gameplay, and it's part of my custom UI setup. Broker Tim Stim Timer, this basically is exactly what you can see. It's right in the center of the screen, in the top of the hexagon there. It shows my stim and the cooldown associated with it in seconds, rather than just being kind of an arbitrary bar. Very, very good for any aspiring Hive Scum players out there. Camera free flight. You can, well, you can pause the game with a different mod, but then you can detach your camera and fly around, right? Zoom around the arena. This is also a combination of a couple mods here. If you've been seeing my thumbnails and you've been thinking they're looking pretty good, you know, I think they're pretty good, but that's how I'm doing this. I'm using camera free flight and I'm pausing the game in a solo mode game. Yeah, there's solo mode mods, guys, in order to get those screenshots. So yeah, the camera free flight is pretty cool, and you can do it in live games as well. It could be kind of considered cheating, I guess, but what I'd like to use it to do is to micromanage my team when I've already died and tell them, you know, basically comment on how I'm so much better than them, even though I'm the one who's actually dead. Let's go on to character cosmetics view improved. Okay, this is cool. This one allows you, if you have it set right, let me make certain I have it set right, you can actually see every Commodore's vesture item, whether or not it's currently available for purchase, so you'll know what's out there. You'll also can see the prices, and you can see unobtainable stuff. So if I go to my operative, and I go to cosmetics, and I go in the head section here, you can see all the cosmetics that are available. You can see anything that's available on the store, right? And then whether or not it's currently available. So these ones are like all class, you know, all humans can have these ones. But then, look at this. There's Hive Scum cosmetics. What? What the heck? This is in the store? And then I go to the store, and it's actually not there, right? So what this is an inaccessible cosmetics, and this also includes the Arbitrator red coat. There's a red version of this coat. There's lots of unused assets that they might put in at some time if you're interested in that. But it also, if you're into Darktide, this is absolutely the mod for you. It's super cool. It also allows you to like choose parts of outfits and then like save them. So I could just do this, and then I could preview, and then I can save that part so that I can see how it would look with, say, if I had this one as well, right? And then I can just have that whole outfit, rather than the normal one where it makes you only look at one part at a time. Creature Spawner, super important mod if you are into testing your builds at all, or really just like testing yourself. If you come to the Psychanium, Creature Spawner allows you to mess with the Psychanium. So you can, at any time, just turn on all the AI and let it fight you, or turn it off, or, you know, make your... Well, that's actually making yourself invisible or visible. You can kill everything. You can instantly reset your cooldown, right? You can do all sorts of stuff with this mod, and it's pretty dang cool for that. And the really important part about this is it allows you to spawn certain enemies. So I can clear this whole arena, and then I can choose what enemy I need to spawn in. And this is great because there are certain types of enemies that don't spawn naturally, right, in the arena. So if you wanted to see what your build does against, like, you know, Rinda here, you could spawn in Rinda. You could even spawn in enemies we haven't seen in a while, like the old radio operator here, and get an idea of what your build would do against that. But really good, and it's good for practicing as well if you're into, you know, kind of 1v1ing. We've got Crosshair HUD. I'm just going to gloss over these. Crosshair HUD and Custom HUD, these are all parts of my Custom HUD setup, as you saw there in the center. You know, I've got a longer video on that if you want to know how to set it up. Of course, mystery members just get it automatically if you're interested. But basically, it's really simple. I've got my grenades on the right there in that red, now it's yellow. I've got my whatever I'm carrying as my equipment. I've got my stim right there in the center. That bigger number is my cooldown in seconds, and then the ammo count at the bottom there. Plus, I have a centered and sort of more streamlined version of the health or the stamina bar, as well as the dodge count, plus my buffs all right neatly below that. And I think it's very nice and concise. It's about the most refined way I can get it to look. And I am a very much an MMO sort of Darktide player, so this reminds me a lot of my MMO days, having a very centered UI that can allow you to keep your eyes on the action rather than in the corners of your screen. Danger Zone, oh my gosh, this is the first must-have mod out of all of these, okay, guys? This is maybe a mod that should be included in the game, the base game. That is the radius of a burster. Did you know that? Because the game loves to hide that little fact from you, that like if you're standing right here, you're actually going to be okay when this goes off. But you would know that otherwise. And the bursters are so dangerous, and the game is prints them out like crazy. It conga lines them at you. Having this mod is a game changer, and it also can show you the radius, not for this is a different mod, by the way, but it'll show you the radius of exploding barrels, exploding flamers. You know, there's so much going on in Darktide these days, it's very easy to lose track of a single exploding barrel that got nicked by one bullet or something in the heat of the moment and get killed or yeeted off the map. And yeah, this mod is, I think, essential for the amount of burster bullshit that exists these days. Okay, decode minigame solver. If you're lazy like me and you want to cheat the game, this will just solve the minigame for you, the one that goes back and forth, and it picks it automatically. You know, that's a great time to talk to your chat, take a drink, pick your nose, whatever it is that you do or that I do, then that's what you could use that time for. Decode helper does the same thing, but it actually shows you what numbers are going to be picked. So sometimes if you know how to cheese, you can pick it up and look, oh, that's a bad pattern. I could pick it up again and see if it has a better pattern and re-roll. Yeah, it's cheating, but I think it's also the decode minigame, so who cares? Disable screen effects. Okay, so you ever fought a demon host, guys? And when you're fighting a demon host, it's really, really annoying because it puts like all this bullshit on your screen you can't see. So check this out. This is what the normal demon host looks like. Oh wait, I had to start another one. There we go. Okay, so see how the frost around the edge of the screen? And then more importantly, once he spawns in, you have this sort of blearing effect here, which makes it really hard to see what the hell's going on. Like, there's a lot going on in Darktide already without all this, like, nonsense. And I have ADHD and I'm a boomer, so this is just too much for me. I understand it's pretty immersive, but I don't care about immersion that much. So I like it like this, where there is no frost on your screen. When he spawns in, he's right there. You can keep your attention focused on the demon host so that you don't have to like be distracted by all the fancy graphic visual effects, and you won't die to a freaking demon host, because usually when one of those gets summoned, it's really a bad time. Same thing applies to every other effect in the game. If there's an on-screen effect that you don't like the grayed out vision that you get when you are in your last down, or the really red overlay that you get from having your combat ability or your rampage active, all that stuff can be disabled. Literally every single ability or on-screen effect can be taken off, which I think is great for visual clarity, and Lord knows Darktide needs more of that. For the vacuum capsule, this mod doesn't exist, and don't ask about it. Glow cooldown. This is a mod made by T-Dops, my personal favorite mod author, and basically it was created specifically for my little UI with the hexagon there to change the color of the hexagon. You can change it any color. You can even set it so that if you have a ability with different charges, like the Zealot, who has 2 charges on his charge, if that makes any sense, or the Psyker, who has 2 charges on his wall, it'll be a different color when you have 1 charge versus 2. So pretty cool and a nice little visual indicator, and it's pretty. Then guarantee ability. Okay, so the guarantee suite here. Okay, so this is a great set, another one that I can hands down immediately recommend. If you do nothing else, guys, guarantee ability activation. If you do literally nothing else in this list, these 3 mods right here: guarantee ability activation, guarantee special action, and guarantee weapon swap. Basically, when has this ever happened to you? I want to switch out to pull up my melee weapon and hit this demon host, right? But I've got my range weapon out. I press the quick swap button to go to my melee, and then I want to swing right after. But what happens is I press the quick swap button to pull out the melee, but I shoot too soon, and it cancels my swap and just makes me shoot. And so, like, you'll get stuck in this loop where you're swapping, but then you just keep shooting your stupid gun and you get hit a bunch. That is because Darktide's priorities are backwards. It thinks that you want to shoot over everything else, when Obviously, you want to prioritize swapping your weapon, or using your ability, or using your special action. You didn't accidentally press that button. You want to do that first and then buffer that attack afterwards. So this allows me to press Q and basically click at the exact same time, and actually right there I can shoot and melee swing with the same animate with the same click because that mod works so well. So yeah, you can swap and throw an attack really fast. Without this, you have to really respect the swap. You cannot crowd the swap with any attack animations, because otherwise you'll cancel the swap, and it's really frustrating. So if you've ever had that happen to you, this is why, and this mod right there will fix it. This one fixes it for activating the ability. If you've ever tried to activate your chorus or something, but you were in the middle of a melee attack and it was like nope, and you had to press it 2 more times, this fixes that stuff. And then guarantee special action, same thing with specials. Okay, then we have health bars. This is a controversial pick. Personally, again, I'm a boomer. I'm an MMO player. I think those two are pretty much synonymous at this point, but I like visual clarity, and I cannot tell for the life of me what's going on. I should just go into an actual game and show you what this looks like. So this game is a visual mess, especially when you're playing on higher difficulties, and especially because I stream, it can be really, really hard to tell what you're looking at most of the time. So I use these in order to just kind of show what enemies' health are. So there you go. Just a nice little simple health bar. It doesn't appear on every enemy. You can in fact toggle it to only appear on like 1 or 2 enemies if you wanted. In fact, I don't have things like shotgunners on there because those guys are literally like 1 health chumps, but a lot of other enemies that can take a little bit more work, I like to give them health bars, especially if they are potential, like, you know, threats that I need to be aware of, because, again, Darktide is a visual mess, and it can be very helpful for both myself and stream viewers to see what's actually going on and prioritize targets. So yeah, it's up to you to decide whether or not that goes over that line of cheating, but again, I'm an MMO-style Darktide player, as you can see by my HUD, so I think this is totally, totally cool, and I like it a lot. Hub hotkey menus, very simply, just like there was a sanctioned mod for this in Vermintide, when you're in the hub, when you're in the Morningstar, you can press a key to just teleport to a different place. Now, this is kind of made obsolete by Psych Ward, but if you're already in the hub, then you can use this to teleport around the hub, because sometimes you actually want to be in the Morningstar. And it's very, very cool. So I can just press H to go directly to Havoc, I can press B to go to the Psychanium, whatever it is. HUD Tweaker, another part of my custom mod setup. In fact, this is an extremely powerful mod that allows my custom mod setup to work in large regards. It's responsible for changing the fonts in my different windows and changing the sizes of different elements. If you want to fuck with the HUD, this is the mod for you, but I won't get into it too much. Hybrid Sprint, oh my gosh, another must-have banger mod. Guarantee ability activations, guarantee the guarantee suite. And then this one would be like the top dogs in terms of just quality of life that you should have. So basically, you know how when you sprint, you have 2 options in the base game, right? You can either hold down the sprint all the time, but what happens when you stop holding down sprint? You go back to walking, right? Normally. But you can also set it to toggle so that when you are walking, if you tap sprint, you'll be in sprint. And then if you stop sprinting, you just stop moving, but then the next time you start moving, you start sprinting again, right? But you don't always want to sprint, right? A lot of times when you start moving, you just kind of want to start at a walk so you can get some stamina back, and then you can choose whether or not to sprint. So what this allows you to do is if I start walking, then all I have to do is tap my sprint key, and it'll sprint until I stop moving, or until there's an interruption in my movement. But what this also allows you to do is if you just throw in a slide like this, you can keep sprinting afterwards. All I have to do is just hold down W and then press my slide key. I don't have to re-sprint every time or be holding sprint the whole time. Really reduces finger strain to not hold down extra buttons like that. I love it a lot. Inspect from social, a great one to understand what players are using, especially if you're interested in bettering yourself. So like for instance, I could go on here, I could find the worst player I know, I go to inspect operatives, and I can go to his talents and then see, oh my gosh, he's just copying my exact build, except for he's not using the corruption resistance thing. He's just stealing my fit, guys. This is 100% my build. And so then I can take credit for making it. Actually, no, I would choose probably to stay into a backstabber, but that's just me. But yeah, that's what it allows you to do, and it's really, really good for sniping people's builds and then uploading to your YouTube channel and making money off of it. So I highly recommend it for that reason. Let's go on to the kill feed improvements. This is like very, very cool. Another great one that should be part of the core game set. I wouldn't be surprised if it is part of the core game set soon. But basically, like, check this out. If I spawn a bunch of these guys, Let's go ahead and put one of these down. But watch that top left corner. See how it says 5 trappers instead of saying Mr. E or Stimmer killed Scab Trapper, Scab Trapper, Scab Trapper. It doesn't flood the chat with a million times that you killed the same enemy. It gives you the multiplier, so it can really condense the non-stop slaughter that is normal Darktide games, and that should be a base feature at this point. Numeric UI, okay, all hail the powerful and omnipotent numeric UI, probably the single most downloaded or like lauded mod overall. This just has the stuff that should be in the game by default. So if you've ever been wondering why you can't see your actual health numbers or your allies' actual health or toughness numbers, why you can't see your allies' actual health or ammos or grenade counts or whatever it might be, this mod will do that for you. And it's so good, in fact, that some of it, like the dodge count and the dodge counter, is now default to the base game. Like the dodge counter, they include that now because that didn't used to exist at all. You just have to guess how many dodges you had. But this mod is super OP. Just having knowledge about when your team's abilities are coming off a cooldown is really great. And then all the way down here at the bottom, I also use it for my ammo counter, which part of my HUD. This also gives you your ability cooldown. This is part of my suite as well, showing the actual timer in terms of seconds and not just how full a hexagon is for your ability being ready, which is critical knowledge. This is the one that shows you that med crate radius. It will show you or not show you the tags. So when I tag enemies, it puts a red aura on them, but it doesn't put a big giant skull over half of their body that I can't see their headshot hitbox through, which I think is so much better and more immersive for your gameplay. So a super OP mod, can't recommend it enough. Definitely like the #1 downloaded mod. Scoreboard or oven-proof scoreboard. This is an extension of the normal scoreboard. These two together give me all of these. Now you might have seen a scoreboard before, but oven-proofs, which has a lot of patches and a lot of different community branches in order to get it working in the current state, but I've got it working and it has really a super customizable, hold on, pause. It has a super customizable suite of stuff that you can include so you can know everything from how much damage your dog did to how much toxin damage to specifically how many of certain enemy types that you killed. Well, let's get out of here. The locals are getting a little bit restless, huh? What do you say? Let's go to the Mortis Trials. No one will bother us in there. Now, the next one up, so yeah, anyway, that mod is very, like, scoreboard. I think scoreboard is, in general, and I'll lump this in with the normal scoreboard because they're part of the same mod. This is basically just an expansion pack for it. I think that scoreboard is perhaps like the single most important mod for improving your gameplay, because that is how you will know whether or not you're performing up to snuff, right? If the other players in your team are behind you, and that's when you know you're doing good. When you feel like you worked really hard in a game and then you look at the scoreboard and you see that the numbers actually are showing that, you're doing good. If you are working really hard to play and then you're looking at the numbers on the scoreboard and you are still behind the rest of the team, it's time to start questioning the build, right? Generally. So this is a great way to test your builds, test your own skill, and to get a sense of like, okay, I did good that game, other than just, yay, we won together as a team. Because yeah, there's a reason people like want competition in their life. It makes you excited. It makes you want to play the game. So scoreboard, it's based, use it. Perspectives. All right, so Darktide is a cool game, right? But what about Darktide in third person? Right? What about that? So Darktide in third person, honestly, doesn't look half bad. Most of the animations work. Some of them are a little bit jank on certain weapons, but I think overall it's a pretty cool experience. You can set it up so that when you aim down sight on a ranged weapon, you'll go into first person with some tweening animations. You can set it up to be over the right or left shoulder if you wanted, and this, in combination with the solo play mod and custom HUD where I can toggle off my UI, then I can do something, I can pause the game, and then I can free my camera using free cam, and then I can take a screenshot of my character doing something silly. And this is how you can get some pretty cool screenshots for yourself. That's what a dodge looks like, guys. Didn't know that, did you? All right. So pink eye. Okay, this is an exclusive mod. So this is exactly what it says here. Another TDOPS mod. Shout out TDOPS. Your eye for the pink guys. If you are a Havoc player, you have been frustrated. I know that you have been frustrated by how unintelligible, the pink aura, the glowing, healing enemies that you must prioritize first, like how hard it is to locate them in a horde, because they just kind of faintly radiate pink. This makes it so that these motherfuckers are outlined in pink. You can tell what enemy has the pink on them and prioritize them as needed. Very, very good OP mod. However, it's Mr. E mod pack exclusive. I think that's the only one on here that currently is exclusive. In a short amount of time, hopefully, I'll get the loading screens back, which have exclusive pictures, of course, of Bernie, the channel mascot, my little puppy. All right, then we get player outlines. Really easy here. Just hopefully, I can't actually show it in here, but I can go back to the Morningstar, right? In the Morningstar, let's show what these looks like. It's basically just the default player outlines, but more bold and more visible, and you can render them at any distance. So this is a really, really good mod. I think this should be default. It used to be default, but they removed it for some reason. But this can allow you to look around and did it save? I don't think it didn't save. Oh, there we go. Turn on Morningstar. Okay, so there you go. It can allow you to keep track. Now I have everything on, so these people are like super irradiated. But you can just have like the hologram of them, right? Something like that. You could have just the outline like this, right? And that allows you to keep track of your allies so much better. You have no idea what this does to your situational awareness when you can keep sort of a mental image of where your allies are as opposed to where you are and not get lost and not stray too far from the team. So this allows you better spatial awareness. I think it's a great, should be a quality of life feature that's enablable in the main game. It is to some extent, but it's like a very, very faint, like the skeleton sort of appearance, not a highlight like this, which is weird because this highlight exists for your own dog, your own companions, for the Arbites dogs. So I think it honestly should be. Then we've got immersive tagging. Basically, this, all it does is allows you to, I can't do it in here, can I? Yeah, I can't. But it just points. You know how the Arbites points when he detonates for his dog? That just makes you point. Like you stick your hand out and you go, right there. And you'll point whenever you tag something, including resources or an enemy. And you can set a bind like this just to point at anything. So you can like point up a ledge and say, kill yourself, and be rude to your team, be toxic. Quick chat, also great for being toxic, but also good to be like polite to the team. If you are a no mic Andy and you never communicate via voice chat at all, this would be a great mod for you. You can set predetermined messages, so you can like, when you're dropping medical crate, it'll type in the chat automatically. Drop to med crate, come heal up. Or you can have it so that when you join a mission, it says, hi, everybody, Dr. Nick here. Or when you fail a mission, it says, fuck you guys, reported. And when you complete a mission, it says, GG. That is the sort of power that Quick Chat has here. And you can even set key bindings to just like, say certain things at certain times, like yes and no. So you can have longer phrases that you say in order to communicate to your team if you don't have a voice to communicate with. Recolor boss health bars. Yeah, have you ever had a problem like I have where 2 bosses isn't enough? Yeah, this solves that because what it'll do is enables you to show the enemies as different health bars, no matter how many there are, the number of bosses. There might be 3 demon hosts on the map, there might be 2 captains and a chaos spawn at the same time in some of these crazy ass games these days, and this will show all of them rather than the maximum cap currently of 2, so you'll actually know what the health of the bosses you're fighting is. Isn't that great? Like having information that prevents you from getting killed while you're fighting dangerous bosses. Scoreboard we already talked about. Smaller talent tree, really simple. Squashes the talent tree on the y-axis because these things are super long and stretched out. I'm pretty used to looking at it this way. Like, this is how the normal, like, what's this? It's super long and stretched, but then if you go to my other characters, it's squashed down, so you can basically scroll just a little bit. It doesn't ruin like how it looks at all. I don't know why they're so stretched out and long. I probably should update this so that I have the one for Hive Scum, but whatever. Solo play, as you just saw, you can load, and this one tickles me to death because there's tons of losers complaining in the Steam chat trying to get jester awards or whatever for garbage, and they are like complaining on the Steam page about the game. Win solo, Fat Shark. You promised solo play. Motherfucker, there's a mod that works as solo play that's been in the game for literal years. And you can just play solo. If you're commenting on the Steam page, You are playing on Steam, which means you can get mods, which means you can play solo, dumbass. But these people are just like trolls anyway. They don't care. So this is a really, really cool mod. It allows you to solo queue. You can just, all you got to do is just type /solo. Brings up this whole ass menu. You can choose any map that's in the game, including like, you know, just going and doing a solo run out there in the dead side. You can do a solo Mortis trial. You can pick whether or not you need to recover scriptures or grimoires. Obviously, this doesn't count for achievements or anything. It's a private server, but it's really cool, and you can test yourself whether or not you're able to solo on certain difficulties. With a mod that I'll add into addition to this, you can even change whether or not you have bots and set like certain cheating conditions. And then over here, you can test yourself on Havoc, so you could see like, you know, how long can I survive on Havoc, like soloing. And yeah, this is just you know, for testing. Right? Pretty cool. This is a very, very, very awesome mod, allowing you to just kind of check something out and how it would work in the real game against real enemies. Stims pickup icon basically makes the icons for the stims red, yellow, green, blue, instead of having it just be a homogeneous, here's a stim. And then you run all the way over to it and you're like, ugh, blue stim, yuck. Actually, red's probably the worst, isn't it? Interesting. Super Impact, 6.9, nice. The Super Impact just makes the funny physics. You know, when you hit an enemy, they go woo and like fly off. You can set it to out here where they literally get spaghettified when you touch them with like the slight breeze, or you can set it way down here where it just kind of cartoonifies the game physics. I like this one a lot. It makes you chuckle every now and then to yeet a dog into the stratosphere because you hit them nice and good. Talent tree improvements. This basically, you know how the recent update allows you to do this and remove the grenade and put it in another grenade without, you know, having to redo your whole fucking tree? This allows you to do that for anything. So this is how I'm able to like make and change mods or builds so dang quickly on the fly, is because I can just very quickly go ahead and reassign points without having to worry about what's connected. If I know I'm going to go down here to chemical dependency, I can remove everything up to here and then repath it down to there, and bada bing, bada boom. Oh, also 69. Nice. Yeah, that's a super OP mod. You should get it. This is also, by the way, called Talent Tree Improvements on Nexus Mods. True solo quality of life. Basically, this allows you to disable bots, skip the intro cutscenes, and auto restart your missions if you're trying for a solo run or like a speed run or a challenge run or something on a map. This will be a really great way to do that. It also allows you to, as you saw before, pause the game when you're in solo and teleport. So if you want to check if like a certain location is inbounds or get a good vantage point and just like explore the map a little bit, you can teleport around the map. You can free cam, you can pause it, you can do whatever you want. You can even use the creature spawner mod that's up here to spawn enemies in solo games and test yourself against them, which I think is pretty cool. So you can make a little challenge for yourself. And then we've got true level. As you can see, if I look around here, let's find a unsuspecting victim. Where are you? There we go. So this guy, he's level 37, right? Normally your level caps at 30. Obviously, everyone normally walks around, you're like, oh, you know, wow, this guy's 30. Everyone's fucking 30. But what about this guy who's level 166? This guy's 12. Okay, that's not over the cap. But yeah, this allows you to just go into social as well and see, all right, you know, who's in here and what is their level and their overall level for that character. It's not for their overall class, but it's for their actual character. So this guy has 145 equivalent levels of experience on whatever class this is. You know, sometimes you'll see people who have like thousands of levels and they play really, really well. And you can look at their levels and be like, ooh, okay, like this guy. And you'll be like, you know, maybe he's pretty good. And then you'll check the scoreboard and you'll be like, oh, he did play pretty good. And then you can use your social and you can inspect operative from social and you can steal their build and put it on your YouTube channel. It's a true economy. Now we got uptime. Uptime might be a mod that's just for me, but if you're a sweat and you want to like actually know factually whether or not your build is working with certain buffs, you can pop up an uptime. It'll allow you to pull up your recent games, and then you can just click a game and you can see like, okay, things like my dog buffs up here, these are working really well, but something like this down here, Hammer of Judgment, I'm getting almost no value out of that. Maybe I should be taking that out of my build because it's providing me only 8.6% uptime. It's really not giving me almost anything. So maybe I need to reconsider how I'm playing, or that can be slotted out with a more effective, better uptime talent. A really great one for optimizing your builds. Valkyrie, Blitz, Ingress, basically just skipping the yap in the Valkyrie. You ever launch into a mission and you have to sit there for 35 seconds listening to Kayaks talk slow as hell and say his paragraph worth of intro lines? Yeah, this solves that by just making that not. Like, it just mutes it. And the really great part about this is if you're loading into a game in progress, say that, you know, for instance, and this would never actually happen, but say, for instance, Darktide crashes and kicks you out of the fucking game for some reason, and then you have to load back in. Well, your team wants you, like, fast, right, so they don't die. This allows you just to load back in, and what'll happen if you don't have it is you load back in, you have to sit there for 35 seconds listening to them talk. But in reality, most players are loaded within 10 seconds, and then you're just waiting for everyone to finish the yap sequence. So if you have this, you'll literally load into the mission within like 5 or 10 seconds. And if everybody on the team has it and you're playing a game, well, then it skips the yap session entirely and everybody just loads straight in. If you have this, you won't hear any yap, but other players still might, and so you're waiting for them to finish. So yeah, this is really good for loading into missions in progress, and also if everybody on your squad has it, you don't have to sit there at all. You just load right into a game and you get playing. And then finally, Who Are You, which I don't really use anymore because this is part of the base game now. You can see people's Steam profiles and know who they are just from the normal social menu. So there you go. Okay, so that's everything in the Mr. E mod pack currently, at least on the like functional mods side. There is still some stuff on the back end that is not visible in the in-game menu, but you know, that's just kind of like stuff that makes the whole thing work. But yeah, if you like these mods, then you can go and download the vast majority of them from Nexus Mods, or become a member, support me and Bernie, and get the whole mod pack. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope it was helpful, and I hope you found some cool mods you liked to try out today. And thanks for watching, guys. Mystery out. Bye-bye.